FaZe Clan had the incredibly difficult decision to kick either Rain or Karrigan. They had to amputate either the brain or the heart, and they decided to go for the latter. My name is Burnington. I love talking about Counter-Strike, and if you do too, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make way more Counter-Strike videos about the esports, but also fun little gimmicks that you haven't seen before, so subscribe now if you don't want to miss those. Cutting Rain was a tremendously difficult decision, and it would always have been. And so it was, for everyone.
For me, you're probably the best player I've met in my career when it comes to where I am today and what I have become.
I know all the things I heard about Howie before I came to the team. Not only it was true, but you know it was even fucking better. I don't know, bro. You'll be missed, Howie. That's all I can say.
How sad it is, I do believe it was the right decision. You either kick a player that is loved by many, is a veteran of the game, and brings a form of stability, or you remove the brain and you will have the team run around like a headless chicken, and I fear it won't be a successful story like Mike's. Mike is a chicken that lived very long, even when headless. Rain's stats and performance were still solid even until the end, and you can argue that he didn't deserve to get cut because of them. But the problems in FaZe Clan are sadly bigger, and something had to be done. The only thing we can argue is, did it have to happen right now? Like I said in another video, keep him until the major, just so he can have those 10 years in FaZe Clan and have a legendary run there. And also, kicking him halfway through the season is something a player like Rain doesn't deserve. And I'm not the only one thinking this, with YNK saying this in a tweet. I will make a follow-up video about Rain, where he might go, what he can add to a team. He's been thinking of becoming an IGL, and let's see if that's maybe a possibility really. So stay tuned for that one, and subscribe right now if you don't want to miss it. First off, we're going to look at what is good about this change, and later we're going to look at what is bad about this change. First off, the good. A small reset. A small reset can do wonders to a Counter-Strike team. It gives new energy and hope to the players. It makes players more optimistic because they're hopeful for the future and looking at the possibilities. They're gonna be more flexible and more like communicative. They're gonna be more respectful because it's important to, when you meet someone, that you show your best side. Also, in the first tournaments there is not that much pressure because it's okay if you don't win tournaments when you just change players. With that lack of stress, the players are more free to experiment, which is something FaZe Clan desperately needs. A small little reset does miracles. Second good point, FaZe is younger. The average age of FaZe Clan went from 27 to 26. That doesn't seem like much, but with Karrigan retiring in the next year and a half or something, that number will surely go down another year, making them one of the most youngest rosters in the world by then. Which is important if you want to have that longevity like you had when FaZe started with Rain and Karrigan oh so long ago. But what is most important, I think, is that you still have an amazing core, even if Karrigan retires in the next year, which wasn't the case these last few years. It was a big worry for a lot of players looking at this FaZe Clan roster, and Twistzz could be crucial for FaZe Clan in the future. And then the third point, the roles make sense. The roles of the new FaZe Clan look as followed. Karrigan will remain the IGL of course, and because of his lackluster fragging, will probably remain an anchor player on all maps, like how he is the B anchor on Mirage and A anchor on Ancient. Brokey will remain the AWPer and won't change much. On the contrary, I even believe that Brokey is encouraged to play like he did in 2022 and 2023 when Twistzz was there the first time. Then we have the new gun Jacob, who many people, including myself, thought would get kicked for Twistzz, but that wasn't the case. I don't really know what his role in this team is gonna be. My natural instinct is that he's gonna become an entry fragger, but having watched the games with him, he's always the last one in, the one carrying the bomb, the one holding the flanks. So I don't know why they're doing this. Maybe they're just giving him some confidence, you know, by getting some easy kills by someone flanking, giving him more game time and getting more accustomed to tier 1 Counter-Strike. I don't know. We'll have to see. I can see it being just a pack player and just in the back of the pack. He's still up for debate. Someone who does have a clearly defined role is Frozen. Frozen will stay to be the mixed and lurker player, which were Robs' roles until they had to replace Robs with Frozen. I do think Frozen is an incredible player, top 10 at least, but he ain't no Robs. I truly believe Frozen is an amazing player with a bright future ahead of him, and that's why I'm scared to lose him, because there's been a lot of rumors going around that a lot of teams want him for good reason, and he has been entertaining the offers of Nadis Vincier. Unless things will get better in FaZe Clan drastically, it's do or die time right now for FaZe Clan.
If that rumour that Frozen might leave is true, then FaZe is done, cooked, and at that point, retire Karrigan, do whatever you want, mate. Like, it's over at that point. If Frozen leaves this squad, they are like 3.5 players from being a fucking good team.
But now with Twistzz coming into the roster, let's hope that Twistzz can assist Frozen as well as he did with Robs when they were tearing down teams left and right in 2022 and 2023. Which brings us to our last player, which is Twistzz. And Twistzz will play the rotator pack roles, which are Elijah's old roles in the old FaZe Clan, and are also the roles Twistzz likes to play, which he also played in Team Liquid, which is good. Oftentimes it's actually the IGL in the rotator positions, like Apex and Vitality, or Big Uzera and Pain, Lear and Nemiga, Chopper and Spirit, Kixen and Falcons, and so on. It's because from there you have a good sense of the game and know what's happening and can call around it. I don't know why, but I have a strong feeling that Twistzz is going to be in charge of calling the CT side. Twistzz has been IGLing before, and also Karrigan has been very comfortable with other people calling the CT side in other lineups, like Nico did back when he was on the roster.
CT side calls.
So obviously John is like kind of main caller on 4 CT sided maps, right? We are trying to make a more red line in our CT side, who is actually the main caller on CT side.
Because one of the problems Karrigan is facing is of course his low fragging ability, and I think that maybe if Twistzz takes the helm on the CT side, Karrigan can focus on his crosshair and can actually get some more kills. Karrigan knows that the fire under him is very, very hot, and that the community has been very critical of his low fragging ability. But having Twistzz calling the CT side might just be the beginning, because I believe Twistzz will become Karrigan's successor. You don't kick a legend like Rain just because you need a little bit more firepower. At least I hope so. You get rid of the old and you look into the future, and that future might be Twistzz. We know Twistzz has fully bought into the Karrigan system, and we know Twistzz wants to be an IGL in the future, and we have seen a lot of people give compliments and encouragement for the young player to become an IGL, but also a lot of negativity, even from the big cheese himself. With Karrigan saying this:
I'm happy to see I maybe have inspired him to do so, and that makes me proud, of course, but I also wish he would still, still take a year or two to hit his peak. I think I told him I think he should wait at the year 2. I think he's still in his peak career, peak form as a player.
1 to 2 years, you say? So 2026? Imagine this. 2026. Karrigan retires and becomes the coach of FaZe Clan. Frozen, a top 5 player of the year. Lurking, Twistzz, the highest fragging IGL in the world. Simple as their op. And then 2 young star riflers, possibly being Jacob or PR. That's an incredible lineup. That's a lineup I'm stoked for. And you might have noticed that I am not that hyped about the Karrigan, Frozen, Twistzz, Jacob and Brokey roster. And there's good reason for it. Because it's time to look at the bad. As I said, the problems are bigger than Rain. But what are they? Like I talked about in my video, was Unleashed the problem in FaZe Clan? They capitulate and frustrations started to climb. I believe that the team needed a hard reset. And now having changed 2 players in the last 3 months could do the trick. But I am skeptical. Here are the 3 biggest problems in FaZe Clan right now. 1. Their coach is a non-factor. Neo doesn't cut it. And Foreign believes the same, with him saying this in the Hot Take Point Made podcast.
think the weirdest dynamic of all was Neo and Karrigan. Because even though, by the way, Karrigan should be in Cassade's seat, he should be like, listen, mate, I used to be a player in 1.6 and Neo was still paying me. Like, if you ever watched those videos, you would think that Karrigan was the coach, bro. That was...
Neo joined shortly before Robs left, while the team has been sliding very steadily into the darkest FaZe era we've ever seen. Wasn't all Neo's fault? Absolutely not. On the contrary, I believe Neo had zero impact in a positive manner or a negative one. Having Karrigan step into that role is a no-brainer if he wants to. Second problem, Brokey. He's inconsistent and you can't build on him. I have been critical of Brokey for years now. Yes, he has a tremendously high ceiling, but man does he make a lot of mistakes. I like the flashy plays too and the excitement it brings. But I also like when a team that I support actually lifts trophies, and I don't think Brokey can help them do it anymore. Of the 3 issues, I do think this is the smallest issue, but still a problem nonetheless. And lastly, the third problem, and certainly not the smallest, Karrigan. People in the community have been very critical of Karrigan's fragging output, which is fair. He is the worst fragger in the top 20 and top 30. And he won't get any better. Because Karrigan is old. So how long does he still have? I'm not saying he's dying. I'm not saying he's dying, guys. The problem is, his fragging is not even the worst problem. It's his leadership. We have seen him lose the team. And the results have looked dire for almost 2 years now. Right when Twistzz left in early 2024. Twistzz can remember how FaZe were winning back then. I know I can't. But when Twistzz was there, winning in 2022 and 2023, he knows what the team needs. And you can see where I'm going with this. So, how long does Karrigan still have? Karrigan doesn't have that long. He will surely play the next major in Budapest. But I believe FaZe Clan will give Karrigan until the next major and IEM Cologne 2026 in June, and if results don't drastically increase, I think it will be the last major Karrigan will play under FaZe Clan. And I think that's fair. Karrigan is one of the best IGLs in the history of Counter-Strike, if not the best. But it's do or die time now for Karrigan in these next 10 months. And I hope all of you will be watching if FaZe Clan will get back to the top. I know I will. I don't want Rain to die for nothing. Thank you very much for watching. Check out any of my other videos by just clicking that title card thing or in the description below. Or maybe there's like a video right there, just click it. I make wildly different videos, but all Counter-Strike related. So if you love talking about Counter-Strike, then like, subscribe, and comment down below right now. Thank you once again, and I will see you in another video. Bye.